Hello everyone and welcome back to round 15 of our F124 driver career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Dutch Grand Prix. Of course, Formula 1, we have made it through our summer break. We are back at Zandvoort this weekend for the start of the second leg of the season. 10 rounds to go, including this one today. It does stagger me that we're already over halfway through this first season of career mode as well. But of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday from Belgium, go back, check it out. It was a very, very interesting race from the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. And as we head towards this weekend, though, plenty of goals available from all of our departments. There you can see we've got our manufacturing expert all the way up to level 3 on the perks as well. And we are trying to do that with some of our other, obviously, other engineers as well. I don't think I'll get any of those goals though, so we're going to try and do some of the other ones surrounding some of our other kind of facilities. I keep calling them facilities, that's basically what they are in this series still, but they are quite good fun, obviously, just to set some goals obviously as the weekends go on as well there. But of course, after the summer break, we've had a big overhaul in terms of car performance as well. 4 more upgrades have come on, so we are now right behind Williams in terms of performance there, and a little way ahead of Kick Sauber as well. There are no other upgrades though in the works, so it's going to be a tough old climb towards the end of this first season as well. Verstappen, coming into his home Grand Prix, has a 160-point lead at the top of the table, but Ferrari have won the last 2 races on the bounce. Will they make it 3 in a row? Only time will tell.
The banked, sloping corners of Zandvoort is a unique challenge for our drivers today, and they'll be hoping to make the most of this free practice. A very warm welcome to you all.
Well, now we've seen Belgium and Qatar get some big updates for F124. I think Zandvoort, honestly, has moved up to one of the tracks that desperately needs upgrading inside this game. Mexico, I think, is probably going to be the other one. I wish you could really take this high line around here, but the corner is not cambered enough on the outside to make it worthwhile. So still inside this game. I mean, the track's been back on the calendar, what now? 4 years? This is going to be its 4th Grand Prix, isn't it, in a couple of months? And still, Coders in EA cannot get it right. But that being said, though, I think it is going to be a better track inside this year's game because you have got so much front end in the car. Final corner as well feels really bumpy with the new suspension settings. Can we get the fuel though? Not quite. Onto our tyre sim run though, got to be really gentle with the fronts. This track, is very abrasive on the tyres as well. You can't go particularly aggressively with your strategy. I feel like, Zandvoort, it's not going to be a track that suits this car. Fun fact though, for those of you that have been around this channel for quite a while, when I did my last Haas Road to Glory back on F122, this was actually the venue where I took my first ever win, so Haas and myself actually have got some happy memories here. What happens with the tyres then through the final corner as we watch the suspension. Listen to the revs there as it really does kind of, spike around all over the place. That is quite cool. What isn't cool though is the fact I've missed out on yet another purple.
With partisan support that we rarely see anywhere else on the calendar, there is an incredible atmosphere at Zandvoort. We're setting the grid for the Dutch Grand Prix in qualifying.
Well, Zandvoort then, as we know, is a very narrow and old school circuit, so trying to make sure you get an instant free track space here is really important. But not quite confident that we're going to see the same kind of pace as we saw last weekend in Belgium. We've already got yellow flags out for someone down in the final couple of corners. Luckily, they're able to get going again pretty quickly. But if we make Q2 here, I'll be pretty happy, to be honest. Tell you what, when you get the front end pointed in around here, it is really satisfying, but it is still so difficult to do. Charging up the battery as well is going to be really difficult as we move into the Grand Prix. There is Sergio Perez in the drop zone, P17. For the Mexican at the moment, of course, just yesterday, re-signed with Red Bull for another 2 years. Still not really sure any of us are quite convinced how that's happened, except for apparently he sells a lot of merch on their website. Up towards the line, we got P11. That's actually better than I was anticipating. Oh, Sergio Perez. I think Sergio Perez is in big trouble here as Bottas has gone quicker than myself. Has the Mexican been able to improve? I don't think he has. Hulkenberg He's going to make his way up into P13 then. So I think Checo might be right on the bubble. It doesn't look like we're going to improve either. So that first lap really was quite tidy in the end. One more corner to go there. I'll struggle to meet the apex. So yeah, we might find a little bit more. We'll do shortest run to the line. Every little bit extra helps there at the end of qualifying. I think it is P12, P11 at the end of Q1. Well, there we go. Neither Red Bull doing particularly well in Q1. Verstappen tying with Lance Stroll there, setting identical times. Yeah, Checo Perez sneaks by in the end. Just, what's that, quarter of a tenth clear of Daniel Ricciardo. But it is both V-Carbs, both Alpines and Logan Sargent out in Q1. Happy that we've seen Nico Hülkenberg make it into Q2. And if Perez continues to struggle, there might be a Q3 upset for somebody. More and more on each other. Oh, a little bit wide there. We get out over the curbs. That's not ideal. I really don't want to bottle another qualifying lap here. Done it so many times so far this season. What is the gap to Zhou Guanyu, though? We're 4 tenths down at the moment. So it might be a case of literally just trying to beat our teammate and maybe Valtteri Bottas here as we navigate our way in towards the final real corner of the lap. Can we meet the apex? Yes, we can. Open up that DRS, use the battery, shortest run to the line as we stay on the bottom of the banking. Are we going to go any higher than P15? We go 14th place on the grid. There we go then, Fernando Alonso fastest at the end of Q2. All the Mercedes-powered cars seem to be in the fight here, but I'm sure by the time we get to Q3, it will end up being Max Verstappen on the pole. No major surprises though, apart from the fact Hülkenberg actually out-qualified me, so he did very well. Don't really think we would have had the pace for Q3, but the race might be a different story.
We're on the coast of the North Sea at Zandvoort Circuit, 25 miles outside of Amsterdam. We're all set for the Dutch Grand Prix, a race that the greats have won at, including Jim Clark, who took the biggest trophy home here on 4 occasions. A lap of this short 2.6 miles Zandvoort Circuit then features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with a 678-metre main straight into turn 1, aka Tarzan Corner, which with DRS open will be the best overtaking opportunity on the track. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Fernando Alonso yesterday puts him on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Verstappen, Sainz, Stroll, Perez, Zhou, Hülkenberg, Albon, Mr. Monaco, Leclerc, Bottas, Ricciardo, Sargent, Tsunoda, Ocon, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, qualifying has left us some work to do if you want to match your results from last race, but come on, you can do this.
I'll be honest, Mark, I'm not so sure I can. Yeah, that P4 result could have been a podium, maybe could have been the win. I don't think it's going to happen here at Zandvoort, unless we get a safety car, which we're still yet to do. Ever on this game. For all I know, the safety car could be bright pink and have sparklers on the back of it. I just don't know. But yeah, Charles Leclerc with some grid penalties. So he's actually starting further back than I'm sure he would have wanted. Fernando Alonso, though, on the pole. Is today finally going to be his day? Only time will tell. We line up P13 on the grid there. Hülkenberg would love to see him get some more points. 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go. They're trying to get off to a decent start. Carlos Sainz has gone nowhere as we make our way down in towards turn 1, but we're going to try to look around the outside of absolutely everybody there, including Zhou Guanyu. We get around the outside of our teammates, so happy we've done that one. How is everyone going to concertina up there? We're going to try the high line on lap 1 through the hairpin there. Maybe Zhou will spot me on the exit. Yes, he just about does. And moving our way then straight up into the points off the start of the Grand Prix as Sainz and Stroll still side by side as they make their way up the hill. Stroll will make his way through the inside into the next corner despite being on the harder compounded tyres. So interesting, yeah, that the team believe that soft medium is going to be the way to go here. But crucially at the front, Fernando Alonso has hung on to that race lead off the start though. George Russell, I believe it is, still in hot pursuit though of the Aston Martin driver. But yeah, we've done really, really well actually. Starts so far inside F124. I feel like, yeah, we've got a whole lot better at them. I also think they're a bit easier on this year's game, but, you know, I'm not going to knock that as well. You guys would hate me and comment all the time on the older games when I get a bad start, so I'm happy that isn't the case here. Fernando Alonso leads at the end of lap 1, but he is under a lot of pressure.
We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Of course, 2 DRS zones around this circuit. Neither of them particularly long. But it's not George Russell then that's hounding Fernando Alonso for the lead. It's actually Lewis Hamilton. So, what's that, 135 wins currently between our top 2 here? But I believe, yeah, anyone inside the top 5, if they were to get the victory today, it would be a new winner so far this season. We've still only seen 4 drivers. Verstappen, oh no, sorry, 5 drivers, isn't it? Both Red Bulls, both Ferraris, and ourselves have taken victories. It's actually been the My Team career mode over on Matsumoto gameplay that has delivered more drama in that regard, as Hamilton, again, you can see looking for it, but Alonso seems to have the legs.
A reminder, mate, temperatures are vital for tyre wear, so try to keep them green, please.
Oh, I hate it when I get that message, because obviously it already means I'm doing something terribly wrong with the car. 123-degree tyre temp on that front left. Looks like it's going to be another day of managing those. I didn't think it'd be that bad round here, just because this track does kind of fold in on itself quite a lot. But apparently I was wrong. I think Hamilton has finally made a power move to the lead of the Grand Prix. Is behind me, Hulkenberg. Actually, maybe getting past Zhou Guanyu, so Nico would be a best race result of the season for him if he was able to come through for 11th. And yeah, with us struggling with our tyre temperatures, maybe he's going to hang me. Well, I'll be honest then, with Zhou and Hulkenberg still fighting behind me and everybody else in front having much superior machinery, we're kind of just driving ourselves into no man's land here. And at the moment, that front left is really not having a fun time with it either. I think rather than going mediums, we're going to have to go hards for the second stint and basically just try and see if we can manage it. But we might be able to box in on like lap 12. And that is even worse news for us then. Leclerc now has found a way around Zhou Guanyu as well. So I can't imagine it's long before he finds a way around Hulkenberg. And that means he's probably going to relegate us out of the points. Yep, there you go. Charles Leclerc immediately finding his way around the Hulk down at turn 1. I'll be staggered if Leclerc hasn't got to me before we box. Look at that. We're on lap 11 and the warning light has already flashed up. I don't know, whether the hard tyres gonna overheat the same way, whether we might not lean on it as much, or whether it is just a choice of we'll go on it because it'll still wear slightly slower than the soft or the medium. But yeah, we are really struggling that front left here. Absolutely taking a pounding so far. And it's given us more understeer as well. We're struggling more and more because of it. I tell you what, Leclerc actually isn't closing in as quickly as I thought he would here, and he's dragging Hulkenberg along at a nice pace as well, giving him some breathing room from the likes of Zhou behind. I'm adamant I spat into the pit lane there. I'm pretty certain I was doing like 41 miles an hour as we made our way in, but apparently it's given it to me. Over onto the hards we'll go then.
Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Well, I don't know how hard we push off the restart. Do we just try and make sure that we're still ahead of Leclerc? Do we try and make sure that we nurse these tyres more? I think we've just got to drive the car as fast as possible. Well, I'm intrigued to know when the AI are going to start pitting here, because we're not really taking much time out of Pierre Gasly. Of course, that whole group now is just getting carried along. Charles Leclerc into the pit lane then, so he might also be struggling just a little bit with tyres. Has had to push his hard to make sure he gets to the front of that group. Will we stay ahead of Charlie Boy, though? This pretty much will decide whether we get points or not. And I think we will for now, so that's pretty good. Of course, he's going to be quicker than me still. I'm sure he'll get to me. But happy that we didn't get overcut. There we go. Much bigger cluster of cars this time around into the pit lane. Unfortunately for me, though, Charles Leclerc is now all over my gearboxes. Look at this. Max Verstappen, P17. I know it's obviously only because of the pit stops and everything, but yeah, really not having the home Grand Prix that I wanted there, as there goes Charles Leclerc. Flies around my outside down in towards turn 1. Are we going to be able to hang on with him? Are the medium tyres going to fall off by the end of the race?
Might make a mistake.
Yeah, The AI don't make mistakes on this game, Mark. You're not learning that. I think some of the front runners then are going to run into serious problems here later on in the day. We've still got a huge cluster of back markers that haven't opted to box yet.
Okay, Leclerc's just set the fastest lap of the race so far.
All the drivers on mediums probably going to be able to take their tyres to lap 20 if they really want to. And that's going to mean, well, Fernando Alonso and I believe Lewis Hamilton have been able to break free of that group. But everyone else is going to get stuck. Well, I do prefer these races when the AI, you know, it's not everyone picks on one of 2 laps. There's a bit more strategy to it. Ricciardo, Gasly, Hulkenberg all in. So we're still ahead of our teammate then at the moment. So we get to half distance here. Yeah, we're basically just really hoping that someone up towards the front, you know, there's contact made or something like that. Otherwise, we're going to be in a really, really depressing race. Don't know if it's for the first time this series. It might have happened before. Kick Sauber now lead the Dutch Grand Prix. Tell you what, it's not much, but we do seem to have the pace over Lance Stroll at the moment. Now he's stuck out by himself in this Grand Prix. Albon and Bottas into the pits. They're both going soft tyres to the end, so they're going aggressive.
DRS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD, or lift a little with gentle braking into corners to recharge it.
That's going to be the more important thing, though. We've got to try and balance that ERS usage whilst we try and close in on the Canadian. We just need to get inside his DRS range, and then we got a chance. There we go, Logan Sargent and Zhou Guanyu in then, finally.
7.2 seconds.
I'll be honest, I completely forgot Logan Sargent was even in this race, but back into the most painful position you can be in Formula 1. And what worries me is I think we might stay here. Tsunoda might be able to get towards me before the end, because he's also broken free from the rest of the back markers. We'll just take a moment then to look on that mini-map. Fernando Alonso has got clear space ahead of Max Verstappen. Now's the Dutchman's chance. Somehow, only he seems to be able to carve his way through packs of cars inside F124. Hamilton immediately has gone back past him, though. Maybe trying to defend one of his old nemesis from another. Well, I'm a little bit gutted for Hulkenberg, to be honest, with this race, because he's actually had the pace over the rest of the back markers. But really poor strategy choice by Haas have kind of shot him in the foot here. He might be able to get to the front of that group. But let's not forget, both Kicks and both Williams are quicker cars than our own, and are both now on fresher soft compound tyres towards the end of the race. Hulkenberg might walk away. I mean, he's going to walk away with absolutely nothing anyway, in a point standpoint. But yeah, we're still trying to hang on from Yuki Tsunoda towards the end, who every lap is closing in on me. I've also just got one eye constantly on the mini-map, because Alonso, he's just pulling away. Well, Alonso surely has got to be counting the laps down at the front of the field, but again, look at that mini-map. Verstappen now has made it free of everybody else here. He is going to be in a hot pursuit of that Aston Martin towards the end of the race.
7.2 seconds.
Tsunoda, we're definitely going to have a battle with him before this race is down and out, but will Verstappen get to Alonso, or could we see our 5th different winner in the last 6 Grand Prix? Oh no, Yuki! Oh, sorry, mate! Just drop the back end ever so slightly as we try to make our way out onto the short DRS zone, and Tsunoda will say thank you very much and move up into P11 of the Grand Prix. We, though, our tyre warning light has flashed up as well, so we've absolutely just ragged this second set as well. Yeah, that front left is very, very warm, but using the DRS, though, surely we're going to be able to try and get a run back past the MV car back down towards turn 1. Oh, Yuki Tsunoda keeps the nose there. We have to give him the room on the inside. Oh, almost wheel banging on the exit as well. Still side by side. We'll go clean past, though, through turn 2. And we will hang on to the position for now. Just about. Yuki Tsunoda will get the run up the hill, though. We'll give him a bit of a pinch. He backs out of the throttle as well. Surely not round the outside here, sir. No. Oh, what's happened to Hamilton? Hamilton's dropped way down the order. What is going on with Lewis Hamilton towards the end of this Grand Prix then? He's been jumped by Lance Stroll.
Car in front, 12.2 seconds. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 3.4 seconds.
I wonder whether Lewis has got damage then late on in the day. Surely Yuki and I can't close in 12 seconds over 5 laps. But yeah, Hamilton is fading towards the end of this race. It's really, really easy to try and get a run on the AI though at the final corner.
In the dirty air of the car in front, let's get past them.
Enough, Mark, I'm trying that desperately, but Tsunoda, we're trying to save up a little bit of battery. Tsunoda just about has enough. Oh, and then Yuki, 3 laps to go. Here from Zandvoort, we've got another run on the V-carb, this time round to the inside.
We need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Oh, we had so much straight line speed there, but Yuki had no shame in trying to put me towards the wall. But we are back through again. Oh no, Yuki. Down the inside goes the V-carb again. Oh, he really sits on the exit of the turn though. We've got to hang close to him. One more lap after this one. Here at Zandvoort, we've got to try and find a way back past him there. The AI often really struggle to put the power down off of the hairpin. So we're going to try and capitalise on that there. And yes, he is. He's slow once again. Which way do we go, though? Left or right? We'll have a look down the inside there. Dip a wheel on the grass. Tsunoda don't back out, though. What is that by Yuki Tsunoda trying to hang it the long way around? We will say absolutely not, though. And make the move back into P11 once again. Hamilton definitely has got front wing damage, but can't seem to drop off enough pace here towards the end of the race. But when you look at the front of the field, one man out in front starting the final lap of the Dutch Grand Prix here, Fernando Alonso. It has been 10 years, more than 10 years. It has been 11 years, 2013 Spanish Grand Prix.
Come on.
The last time we saw Fernando Alonso win a Formula 1 Grand Prix. We've got to be careful of Yuki still back down towards turn 1.
Final lap of the race.
Tsunoda's going to try and send it around the outside one final time there. Surely you can't make that work. Whoa! We might have ran him towards the gravel trap there, but we had to try and defend for everything we possibly could. And he did give me the room. But, of course, since the Dutch Grand Prix returned to the F1 calendar, it has been driver number 33, Max Verstappen, that has taken the win every time. I'm sure the home fans would want to see another home victory today, but it's not going to be driver number 33. It is going to be win number 33, Fernando Alonso, out of the final corner. He is finally back on top with Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso, once again, is a Grand Prix winner there, and I'm sure if you had to ask anyone around this circuit, if it wasn't going to be Max, who would they want to see win?
0.3 seconds.
I think they would all pick Fernando Alonso there. For us, though, it has been an absolute drive to survive today. 80% on that front left tyre as well there. But we've hung on through the final corner. P11 ultimately was the best we could do today. And I think, you know what? We'll take it.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
What a great race then, and a magnificent victory here at the Dutch Grand Prix.
And it's one thing to win, but to win like that in total dominant style, that was a fantastic drive, and it is not one that we see very often.
Aston Martin's performance today has shown that they can be competitive with the biggest names in the sport. They're making their way out onto the podium now as we speak, and the reaction from the crowd must be incredibly uplifting for them.
Well, there we go then. How many comments have I seen from you guys? Desperate to see Fernando Alonso win a race in this series, and he has finally gone and achieved it there. Like we said, his first win in 11 years in Formula 1, and after we made contact with him last weekend, I really did start to wonder when we would see it happen, because he's been so consistent so far this season. He absolutely deserves it there. Verstappen, a good recovery drive to P2 in the end, and Lando Norris makes it onto the podium ahead of his teammate Oscar Piastri. Russell ahead of both Ferraris, Perez, Stroll, and yeah, Lewis Hamilton dropping down towards the end of the Grand Prix there. P11 for us, like I said. Sensibly, I think the best we could have done today. A little bit gutted for Hulkenberg. I feel like he deserved a little bit more, all things considered. But that means take a look at our Drivers' World Championship. Alonso now back within 5 points of Carlos Sainz as well there. Still Verstappen with a 172-point lead at the top of the table. So, yeah, I don't think he's too worried. But it has now been 3 Grand Prix in a row that Verstappen hasn't won this season, and 5 different winners of the last 6 Grand Prix as well. We absolutely love to see it there. Our 4th different team, our 5th different driver as well. Sorry, our 6th different driver, of course, to get a win so far this season as well there. For us, though, obviously still in that P10 position in the drivers, still in 6th place as well in the constructors there. Aston Martin, with that result, get 4 points ahead of McLaren as well. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns to the Temple of Speed at the Italian Grand Prix.